I'm currently working on my Valentine's project, which is this flower vest. Well, I'm hoping it will be a flower vest. It's taking so long. This is going to be the back panel, and I think I still need to add like 2 more rows, so that's going to take me a long time. So I'm just working on that. I have all my yarn laid out in strings so I can just really easily grab it. I'm also working on finishing this whip for my February whips video. I'm really stuck on what to make or how to finish it. I've attached 2 granny squares here to make it a bit more of a sort of chunkier, bulkier vest, but I'm so unsure on how else to kind of elevate it. I was also very kindly sent something by Wool and the Gang, and I'm making their Benny scarf, which is kind of like a chunkier version of the neckerchief by Petite Knit, which I really liked, but this one's made like width-wise or lengthwise rather than width-wise, so I had to cast on like over 400 stitches, which I don't think I've ever done, so I've got that on here. I've also never tried this method, what is it called, short rows. Never knit with short rows before, so always enjoy learning something new. So I'm working on that as well. Lots of projects going on. The living room is a bit of a mess with all my stuff laying around. I actually just wanted to do a bit more of a slow down, sort of chattier, week in my life type video, and kind of just share some of the projects that I work on like a day-to-day basis. It's so hard to talk when you're trying to count your stitches. I've not really set myself any intentions or goals for 2024, not in like my personal life, but I've recently felt like I wanted to, I don't know, pick up some new hobbies or sort of make some changes to my daily life. They're not really things that I want to force on myself. They've kind of just been things that I've been thinking about for a while, and I've kind of just let like brew in my head until it was time to sort of implement them. One of them is to read more, and this has been really tricky for me because as I've picked up knitting and crocheting more, and that kind of developed into me knitting and crocheting every single free second that I have, it also just meant that I wasn't reading, that it just wasn't the time for reading, and it just felt like another thing that I had to try and sort of, I don't know, work into my schedule. I also went through a phase of listening to audiobooks, which is a really nice way to get the reading in, but I kind of, I don't know, stopped doing that. But I have now started listening to Good Material by Dolly Alderton on Spotify. I really liked Everything I Know About Love. Yeah, I am quite enjoying it. I don't think audiobooks hit the same as when you're actually reading them, so I don't know if I'd enjoy the book more if I was actually reading it. I just also thought with Spotify now having really good audiobooks available, I don't really have the excuse anymore to not read, and it just is so helpful because it means I don't have to subscribe to another platform like Audible. Then I also downloaded a new book on my Kindle called Dogs of Summer, I want to say, and it's about these 2 little girls, like early teenage girls, in somewhere in Italy or Spain, I want to say. I forgot where it's based, but it's kind of just about their life. They're on summer holidays and just being girls, which that really spoke to me. I didn't really want anything too heavy or too difficult to read for my, first book going back into it.
Just thought maybe, never have I heard anything so. Sorry, I said, wrong end of the stick. He is a fine.
I've just had this arrive in the post. This isn't sponsored at all, but I thought we could look at it together because I ordered some frames to test from BlooBloom. They do free at-home trials. Whoa. This is gorgeous, look at that. Done one at home trial before and it was an absolute shit show because I find that the glasses that I like the look of online, they just don't fit my face. And like these ones, for example, I just by chance tried them on in store and they were perfect. I have since looked at them online and I would have never picked them out. So I do think this is quite a hard thing to do online, but these look gorgeous. So yeah, I picked 5 pairs, if you can see that, but I'm quite excited. Right, let's take this off and these off. I have actually been eyeing up a pair from Jimmy Fairley, not the classic ones that everyone's got, but one called The Mind, and I tried them on in store when I was in London a couple of weeks ago, but I didn't buy them then just because I feel like you need a bit more time to think about them and look at the photos and consider. I don't know if it's just me, but the lighting in the Jimmy Fairley stores is really bad and they just create really bad shadows. And a mistake I made when I took the photos is I had my fringe down and I wish I had taken some without my fringe because I couldn't really figure out whether I liked them. So I'm still thinking about them. They're sold out online, so I haven't been able to order them. I do think if they come back in stock, I might put a prescription in. So these are the first pair. I don't actually know. Oh, it's just there. These ones are called Prophet and they're in like a blue. I don't mind them. It is quite handy to have them at home to try on. These were actually the ones that got me on the Instagram ad, so I quite like the look of them and then chose a few other ones. These are called Legend. I do not like them. I really love the look of transparent glasses. I think people look so cool, but this is like the second pair that I've tried and I don't think transparent is the one for me. Then we have Lover, which is a tortoiseshell one. I like these. They're a bit more of a thinner frame. I quite like a thick sort of frame on my sunglasses as well, so I wasn't sure about these, but they're cool. They kind of are similar to the Jimmy Fairley ones. They're very light. They're so light in comparison to my Prada ones. These might actually be a good contestant. Now these ones, I already think I'm not going to like them. They're called Legend. Wait, they're not too bad. It's when glasses are angled down, I don't think it's good for my face shape. Like my Prada ones, they're angled up, which is why I think they work really well. They are quite cool though. I just think it makes my face really droopy when glasses are facing down, but I like the green. And then we have the Prophet glasses again, but in tortoiseshell. I just think they're a bit too plain. I think they look nice. They're just a bit plain. I guess the good thing is I can keep hold of these for a little while and have a think and try them on with different hairstyles and outfits, which you can't do when you're in store. Like for my first proper pair of glasses, these Prada ones are gonna be really, really hard to beat. Today is very exciting and nerve-wracking because I'm getting my back tattooed. I'm getting a big back piece, which I've wanted for a while, and then recently I was like, I'm just gonna go for it. And within 2 weeks I got an appointment and it's today and I'm so nervous. I wouldn't be as nervous for a arm tattoo or maybe a leg tattoo, but I've had my ribs done maybe like a couple years ago now and I didn't have the best experience. Not really anything to do with the tattoo artist, just based on the pain, and I'm a huge people pleaser, so I couldn't really say no or to stop. So I ended up, after leaving the appointment, having a huge panic attack. It was just a really bad experience, almost more after having the tattoo done. So yeah, I'm a little bit nervous about that. I have let the tattoo artist know about my experience with the rib tattoo and I might be able to talk to him again about it when I'm there. I've never met this artist before, which might also not be the best idea. I should have maybe gone to him to get a smaller piece somewhere else done, just to get to know him. Getting a tattoo is actually so invasive and nerve-wracking when you're doing it with a stranger. So yeah, I am a little bit nervous. I'm wearing this backless top that I got from Pull and Bear or something, so he will be able to cover the entire back. I've just worn this bikini top underneath as well, just for the journey, but it'll be really easy for me to take that off. I've also brought a safety pin, so I can pin this part of the top to my jeans loop, so he'll have full access to my back there. This is also the rib piece that I was talking about. So I'm gonna head into town now. I'm gonna go for some lunch. I'm kind of trying to do all of the like recommended steps before getting a tattoo, which usually I wouldn't really be that strict about, again, if it was a smaller piece, but because it's a back piece, it's gonna hurt. Either way, it's gonna hurt, so I want to prep. So no caffeine because it can thin your blood, no pain medication because that can thin your blood, and yeah, I'm just gonna eat loads. I already had some breakfast earlier. I'm gonna have some nice lunch, gonna grab some little snacks, some chocolates, some like flapjacks on the way, just so I have little snacks to keep me going throughout. And then I've just got my bag with some like comfort things. I've definitely got my water bottle there. I've packed some deodorant, some perfume, just because I really worry that I smell whenever I get a tattoo done, and he's gonna be quite close to my pits, so gonna be smelling nice. My hairbrush, my glasses case, because I think I'm gonna be like on my face, so I can take my glasses off. And then some earphones. If things are really bad, I'm gonna ask him if I can pop my earphones in. And I might also, if he doesn't offer it, ask if I can pop some music on. Usually they have like music on in the background, because I found that really helps with my car sickness if I listen to my own music, not stuff that's on the radio, not anything that anyone else puts on, because it instantly makes me feel nauseous. So those are just a couple of things that hopefully are gonna get me through this. I'm not trying to scare anyone off if you want to get a bigger tattoo. I'm just saying to like prepare and be gentle with yourself and do things that are comforting to you, because like I said, it is incredibly invasive. And I'm also not big on physical touch, even from people that I love and are close to me. So having a complete stranger in such close proximity to me and touching my skin is already anxiety inducing. But obviously usually I'm completely fine, like I've got loads on my arms already. So yeah, this is a tattoo that I've wanted for a really long time, and it will be worth it. I think it's just the more tattoos you get, the more scared you get of the pain, because you're so aware of how painful it is. And also I'm so stressed about the aftercare, because it's gonna be a bitch. It's gonna hurt so bad. Just gonna do a final check that I have everything, even though I literally just showed you what's in my bag. I always worry, oh, I need a phone charger. We spent the last sort of week pretty much painting our entire flat. When we moved in 4 years ago, The walls were in a pretty bad state, and I don't think they had been repainted even years before we moved in. And they were this really horrible yellowish magnolia tone, which I just can't stand. And it made everything look really dark in this flat, even though this flat is really nice and bright and we have so many windows. So then, now that I'm filming more from home and working more from home, running my business from home, it's become more and more important for me to have get lighting and white walls, because I'm sick of all my photos and videos having this yellow tint. So we started painting our office room and the hallway, and then we made a slow start upstairs, and we've kind of been doing it in sections, which has definitely made it a lot more manageable. And honestly, the difference is insane. I'm so happy that we've actually done this. Even after the first coat on certain areas, it just made such a huge difference. It's an absolute pain, but this is the last wall we need to do the second coat on, and then everything is done apart from our bedroom. We're not going to be able to do that until a bit later on, because we need to have some people fix some plastering on our wall where we had a leak. Yeah, everything's looking so good, and it's so worth the hard work. It also meant that I've moved my knitting machine and my desk and everything downstairs, and we're kind of rearranging things so that all my crafty things are just going to be in the office downstairs, because previously I had it here in the living room. It's just not really nice to have my workstation in our living area, and I am quite excited to have like a room dedicated to everything, because also all my boxes of yarn and fabric, they're all downstairs anyways, and especially with my knitting machine, it's not like I can actually use it up here when my boyfriend is home because it's so loud. So it would actually allow me to be working on my knitting machine sort of the later hours of the day without really disturbing him. Usually when I was working on my knitting machine, I'd have to make him go into the office or the bedroom, which isn't very nice. Yeah, the flat is looking in an absolute state at the moment, and I can't wait for this wall to be done so we can finally move everything back. And there's lots of home updates that I want to make in terms of furniture and just like organisation. We've been here for like 4 years now, so it's nice to just reset and think about sort of how we want everything. I'm just gonna very spontaneously go grab a stool that I found on Facebook Marketplace for my office so I can get rid of this chair that I have there, which is really impractical, and I always have to put a little rug down, which I don't want to do anymore. I think I'm gonna go cycle there and then go get the bus back, but I just washed my hair, so I think I'm gonna wear this balaclava on top, otherwise my hair is gonna be absolutely mental. And it will also hide the fact that I have to put a little clip in my fringe to let it dry, because I just have such a strong cowlick here that my fringe will never sit in the middle. That's me already. I've got my cash in my little purse, had to scrape that together somehow, and yeah, let's go pick up my stool. can't tell whether the chair is too high because I'll be like leaning down. I didn't just carry this for like an hour just for it to not fit. Oh well, I got it now. I thought I would update you on the projects that I've been working on this week. I finished the crochet flower vest in time for Valentine's, literally the day before. So I finished this on Tuesday and I really love it. I'm considering adding some half flowers on the corners here just to round off the arms a bit more, but I honestly sometimes surprise myself with these granny square projects because they take up a lot of work, but once you get used to the pattern they can be whipped up quite quickly. And then yesterday, as part of a new video, I made this hood. I honestly think this is one of the best things I've made recently. I am so completely obsessed with it. Obviously the ends still have to be woven in, but this is so cute. I love how chunky and big the hood is. Honestly, I'm obsessed. So this will be in a upcoming video soon on how I made this. I also changed up the granny square design because that was one of my goals for this year. So instead of just making the standard square, I kind of changed it up a little bit, but all will be revealed in that video. And then the wool and the gang scarf, I'm kind of working on it every now and again, but not really made that much progress. It's not really the top of my priority. I do think I would like to finish it this month, but I don't know about that. So much has changed since I last showed you the flat. Obviously I did the second and final coat of upstairs yesterday morning, and then in the afternoon we started moving stuff around because we want to change up the layout of our furniture up here. So it's looking completely different, but it's definitely not how it's going to end up like. Everything seems to currently be a placeholder for what we want it to be eventually, but I'll show you around and maybe talk you through some of the inspo, because I think for me it'll be really nice to look back sort of in a couple months and see if it actually came to life. So as you can see, all of this has completely changed. Previously our TV used to be where the chair is and our sofa was kind of lengthways, and then our TV's back there now. We've moved our sofa there, and then provisionally we've put the bookcases there, which are eventually going to go downstairs into the office. I've ordered longer posts for these shelves because I want them to be stacked, so I want them longer and higher, but I had to order separate posts that are a bit longer. We're still going to keep hold of the little ones because if we were to move later on, then we have the option to go smaller again. But essentially what I want here is a complete wall shelving, and I wanted to ever so slightly come into the kitchen as well, so to be on top of the sockets there, so you have that sort of blend into the kitchen, and we can also put some nice jars and stuff that are more kitchen related on the shelves there. And then this side we might put a tabletop there so that we have room to work on our laptops and stuff if we wanted to. Really unsure where to then end up with this chair, but I'm thinking maybe it will go into the cove, and then this little sectional thing I might just pop here somewhere, I'm not quite sure. Then obviously we have the sofa here, which is way too big for this area, but this has been our sofa solution for the last 4 years, so I think it's fair and time that we upgrade. And the new sofa that we are hopefully getting will end here where that pink line is, so we're going to save a lot of space on that side. If it was possible, once the sofa's arrived, I would love to have a bookshelf running behind the sofa, just a really slim one, to kind of make this feel a bit more cohesive. But yeah, the TV's going to stay there. Eventually I'd like to get a new TV unit, but that's definitely not a priority right now. Then in terms of the kitchen, we've ordered some new vinyl covers so we can match our kitchen unit, and then we will eventually also get a line of sort of peel and stick backsplash. It's really been bothering us that we don't have backsplash anywhere, not even near the sinks. And then for this island, which I absolutely love, it's changed our kitchen completely. I want to add some curtains, kind of like cottagey style curtains here, so we can just cover everything that's going on there. For the curtains and stuff, I actually have a few different areas where I want to add curtains. So I have the kitchen unit. We have a window there which kind of glares a little bit on the TV, so I want to add some there. And then in the office I need to add curtains as well, because when I'll be working there at night, people can just like look in. And then also in the office I have all that open shelving, which you might have seen before, which I want to also enclose in curtains, so again, not everything is open and on show, and it would just look a lot neater. And I'm thinking, because I have a sewing machine, I might be able to do it myself. I will probably do the curtains up here on the kitchen island and that window first to kind of practice, and then I'll do the other curtains in the office after that. Those are kind of my top priority jobs for the flat at the moment, so we'll see how that goes. I'm still doing a bit of research on like the curtain methods and stuff like that. But I would actually love to make this a bit more of a series, or like a focus in my videos, and show a few more of the home updates, because I have a lot planned and it's all going to be in stages. Like, it's going to take a few months for all of this to come together. I can't wait for some changes to happen. This has been such a good weekend for finding chairs. I found this chair on Facebook Marketplace for free, so we went to pick it up this morning. I cannot believe they just gave it away. It is torn at the back here. The seams have come undone, but it really doesn't bother me. On first glance, you can't really notice anyways. I'm still not sure whether the stool that I got yesterday is actually suitable for my workstation, just because my desk is a little bit lower than the standardized desk height, because I'm basing it on the IKEA unit that I have it attached to. But the stool might still be quite useful for upstairs, because we've been wanting to get a bar stool for our kitchen island, so if we wanted to, we can sit at the kitchen island and work. And because the stool is adjustable, you can make it high enough to the bar stool height, which is really good. This chair I would like to eventually also put upstairs, near where I want to put the shelving on the wall, where we then want to install a little desk area, and then this would look absolutely gorgeous in the living room. So for now, I'm going to hold on to my old chair. It's going to be a bit of a pain to store it, because we have so many chairs around at the moment, but I'd rather hold on to it for a while and see whether we actually need it or not. I will actually need to take some time next week to sort out this office. Currently we're kind of just storing everything in here, but I want to make this practical and actually work on my knitting machine again. I realised that I didn't give you an update on my tattoo. I'll maybe insert a picture or video here of what the tattoo turned out, but mainly I wanted to let you know about the overall experience, because it was so much better than what I anticipated and what my rib tattoo experience was. I realised that maybe in the clips that I filmed before my tattoo, I seemed a bit flustered, because I was genuinely really nervous. But honestly, the tattooist was really, really lovely. He was really understanding. I think it was really good from my side as well that I made sure he knew sort of that I previously had maybe not the best experience. And he was really understanding. He said that he himself would never get a back tattoo because it is so painful. And weirdly, that doesn't scare me off. It just makes me feel more understood and less on pressure. You know, in case it was too much, I would want the tattooist to be understanding and not kind of like disappointed, or I don't know, think I'm a wuss. You also use the spray on the area that is meant to make the pain less. So I'm not quite sure what it was or how it worked. It wasn't numbing cream, but it was something to sort of take the edge off a little bit, and I just thought that was so nice as well. So that really helped. The pain was still pretty bad, but it was doable, and it helped that we were chatting a lot. So when you were in conversation with the tattooist, I think you kind of distracted a little bit. Once we got sort of to the end, it did get really, really horrible. I'm gonna go back to add flowers around the tiger and then possibly do the shading then, but honestly I think I might leave it at that and then go back a third time, and that's where he's going to shade everything and just do some final touch-ups, and then I will be done. The healing process was fine. It's always going to be horrible. The thing I actually struggled with the most was the muscle soreness, because I think when you're there, I was there for overall 3.5 hours, so maybe like 2.5, 3 hours of tattooing. You're kind of tensing your back a lot. Whichever area he was tattooing, I was really like holding on for dear life, which I think is what previously caused me to have such anxiety with my rib tattoo, because your body is in such defense mode and you're literally holding on for dear life and, you know, trying to maintain the pain. So my back honestly felt like I had the biggest gym session ever afterwards, but in terms of the actual healing of the piece, it was kind of normal. It's currently really itchy, which is really frustrating. So obviously I can't itch it or scratch it. In terms of my book updates, I finished Good Material by Dolly Alderton. I thought it was fine. Obviously I read it as an audiobook, so I didn't really love the narrator, which was like the only thing I think that put me off. But I started Ghosts by Dolly Alderton. I hadn't read it at the time when it came out, but it was also available on Spotify, so I started that, and immediately I like it more because it's narrated by a woman and it just sounds much better. I don't know. But who was going to tell me that Spotify has a 15 hours max listening time for audiobooks? Because I, for some reason, thought there was no limit, and I've exceeded my limit for this month. So I might have to go back to Audible because 15 hours isn't a lot. I know that Good Material in itself was 9 hours. So then I'm not even able to finish Ghosts now. The book that I'm reading on my Kindle, I read one night, then I couldn't sleep afterwards, so I stopped. But I read a little bit last night and instantly fell asleep after like 10 pages, I think. I'm gonna keep it up for a little bit, but the audiobooks are actually working so well for me, especially now that I'll be downstairs in the office with all my stuff. I don't have a TV here. I think when I'm working down here, that would be like music and audiobook time. And whenever I'm knitting or crocheting on the sofa, that's when I'll be watching TV or YouTube.